disproportionately harms students of color. Here with us now, House Education and Workforce Committee member, Utah Congressman Burgess Owens. Congressman, thank you for being with us. When you remove standards, you hurt the people who the standards were removed from. This is bad for those who are worst off.
It is, and thanks for the opportunity to talk about this topic. That's why I have such a passion for education, because at the end of the day, it was our founders who understood very simply, ignorant and free can never be. Our freedom is based on engagement. Our freedom is based on people being able to articulate themselves, to think, and to work themselves through situations. And what we're doing right now, we're seeing an attack on our educational system. It's been going on for decades, by the way. You see it in the antisemitism in our colleges. You see the anti-white sentiment that was in our colleges. It's going across our country, and we're finally, as a country, recognizing we're under attack. It is a civil rights issue. We need to make sure that we're getting our kids thinking, proud of who they are, proud of our country, proud of who we've become and where we came from. The only way to do that is by education, and we have to understand that Marxists are indoctrinating within our system for a long time. They're trying to divide us, and this will not work. We have to make sure we're having our kids to be able to think through this process.
Congressman, to that anti-Semitism point, you've introduced a resolution condemning the support of Hamas on college campuses. I want to pull up a map here nationwide where you can see just how many protests there have been on college campuses calling for supporting Palestine, in some cases outright supporting Hamas. Resolution is great, but it's just that, a resolution. So what can be done in terms of policy to hold these colleges and these students accountable?
Well, we're already holding testimony, committee hearings dealing with what's going on in our colleges, the rot that's coming out of there, the lack of success from our kids. We have to hold these colleges accountable. We've been going this rogue route for way too long. We have kids leaving college with debt they can't pay, with degrees that mean nothing, and hating our country at the same time. It is a time for us, first of all, to give choice, to make sure that American people are awake and aware of what's going on, and we are getting there. I think the upside of COVID is that parents and students are beginning to look at these institutions and realize, is there a return on investment? Is a place I can learn to go out and have a career, not have debt, and move forward and have my dreams? And it might not be in the 4 or 6 year college process that we've been looking at for the last decade. So we need to, first of all, look at what's being taught in these schools, the ideology has been taught here, and we can start looking at pulling back. If we find an enemy, we find, like we would with Nazis or anything that's pushing hate, we need to be able to figure out a way to hold our colleges accountable for the product that comes out of these colleges.
But Congressman, part of the problem is even anti-Semitism on the House floor. You've got a couple of members of the squad, I believe it's Rashida Tlaib, digging her heels in with respect to who bombed the hospital in Gaza, still insisting and maintaining that it was Israel. So when I look at what is happening on college campuses, I think of what's happening in our own government. I'm curious how you would respond to that.
Well, it starts in our government based on what we're teaching our kids in pre-K through 12 and higher education. What we're seeing in these campuses right now, what we're seeing across our country, is a product of decades of indoctrination. We have professors who teach Marxism, anti-Americanism, CRT. Kids come out totally hating our country because of the process. So we're now, thank goodness, we're awake to this process. We're going to start holding hearings, and I think at the end of the day, it comes down to we the people. American people recognizing that if they don't want their kids being indoctrinated, they start looking at other options. And when you have the very wealthy being able to pull their money back from schools like Harvard, it will get their attention. So the days of the progressive process of Marxism is gone. We're now awake to what's going on, and we're going to start addressing it not only by engagement, but by the American people, bringing people to Congress that really care about our country and make sure that we teach our kids to love who we are and have a great vision for where we can go.
Congressman Burgess Owens, thank you.